Welcome to Vaginismus Warriors. As you can probably already tell by the name, this is a channel on which we're going to be talking about vaginismus, what it is, and how you can overcome it. So this is my first ever video, so if you're here, then hi. I'm happy to have you as one of my first viewers. So to tell you a little bit about myself, I'm not a doctor or a medical professional, but I am, like you probably are if you're watching this video, someone who has had to struggle with vaginismus. I've been suffering from vaginismus for years, and it took me a really long time to overcome it, but now I'm finally in a place where I can have pain-free sexual intercourse. And so I wanted to create a channel in which I could share my experience and help other people on the journey with vaginismus. So the topic of today's video is going to be very simple. It's going to be about defining vaginismus. So first, let's start with the definition of vaginismus. So vaginismus is a disorder, a sexual disorder, that either completely prevents vaginal penetration or it makes it, at the very least, very uncomfortable and painful. So basically what it's going to feel like really when you're trying to insert anything, any object in your vagina, be it a tampon, a dilator, usually it can feel like you're sort of hitting a wall. It's like the tampon, for example, is stuck and you cannot go any further. Even if you do it, it can be a little bit painful. So it's going to feel very tight. The sensation can be, for me, it was kind of a little bit of a burning sensation. So if you have trouble inserting anything into your vagina, it doesn't mean that you have vaginismus, but if you have vaginismus, then it's probably going to feel either, one, impossible to move any further along the vaginal canal, or two, it's going to feel tight and uncomfortable and maybe sometimes even painful. So why does this occur? So basically vaginismus occurs when the muscles around the vagina tighten when something is about to or is entering the vagina. So it can be a penis, tampon, menstrual cup, whatever. So it's the muscle tightening around the vagina that is going to either cause pain or discomfort. These are unintentional muscle spasms. So you really have to keep that in mind. It's unintentional, it's not a voluntary reaction, it's totally out of your control. And it's going to happen almost every time you're attempting to penetrate the vagina. So they can be from mildly uncomfortable to very painful. So for example, whenever I would insert a tampon, my muscles would be all tensed up and I could feel that all of my lower abdomen muscles were really tense, my thighs were tense. And so why are your muscles tensing like that? So the muscle tightening often occurs as a response to previous pain or a fear of pain. It's a reaction to a fear of pain, and this fear can be irrational in the sense that you can have vaginismus although you've never had a previous bad experience with penetration, or you can have had a bad experience and now you're scared. But again, it's involuntary, it's not done on purpose, and it's not something that you can control. It's your body's response. It's an automatic sort of fight or flight response. And so on that note, it's important to note that there are two types of vaginismus. There's primary vaginismus, which means that there's always been pain or tightness when trying to insert something in the vagina. So often happened the first time you try to insert a tampon or the first time you try to have sexual intercourse. For me, it was the first time I tried to have the tampon, but again, it was also present when I first attempted sexual intercourse. The second type of vaginismus, however, which is secondary vaginismus, occurs when there has been no pain or tightness during penetration, but then over time, pain is going to develop. So basically, if you have primary vaginismus, you have always found it painful to insert things into your vagina, usually starting with tampons. And if you have secondary vaginismus, then it's developed later, like you've able to enjoy sexual intercourse or insert tampons easily, and then one day it starts being painful and uncomfortable. Sometimes I've heard that it happens to women after menopause. What are the causes of vaginismus? Truthfully, the causes are unknown, and I've done a lot of research on the topic. I know that some factors that might contribute to vaginismus, having pain along the opening of the vagina, so for example, a condition like vestibulodynia, or recurrent bladder infections, any really painful experience in that area, or just fear, anxiety that any entry to the vagina might be painful, previous abuse or trauma, injury during childbirth, etc. But in many cases, no specific cause is found. And for example, in my case, I haven't suffered from any abuse. I don't have a really particularly traumatizing sexual experience. I was a bit anxious, about having sex for the first time or inserting a tampon for the first time, but it wasn't anything major. Like, it was a normal level of anxiety, I would say, and yet I ended up developing vaginismus. And because you're often told as a girl that the first time is going to be painful, and I think that fear can play a lot, at least in the onset of primary vaginismus, and I think secondary vaginismus, but again I couldn't testify to that, is more the result of a painful experience, whereas primary vaginismus might be linked to fear. And so finally, can vaginismus get better? Can it be treated? And if so, what are the treatments? So there are treatments for vaginismus, and I'm proof of that. I'm proof that you can overcome vaginismus, even though it can take a long time, but it's possible to overcome it. We're going to have several types of therapy. You can have pelvic floor physiotherapy, the use of vaginal dilators, or pelvic muscle stretching, special breathing techniques, and you can have cognitive behavior therapy and sex therapy. Sometimes, and usually most times, you're going to need to kind of mix a bit of everything, because you're going to have, for example, to address the fear with therapy, and you're going to have to do the work, etc. I'll go into more details on treatments in future videos. This is just kind of an introduction. It's difficult to become pain-free again without vaginal tightening to occur at all. But still, I can guarantee you that you can one day have satisfying sexual intercourse and, be able to insert your tampon without feeling you're going to die. So really, that's it for today, guys. I'm happy to have had you with me. If you have found this video valuable, then hit the like button and comment down below. I'm just starting out, so it would be helpful to have your guys' opinion of things that I could improve, and if you have any specific topics or questions that you have regarding vaginismus that you would like me to cover, then feel free to comment down below. I'll try to respond to every comment and to really take that into account, because this is really about helping as many women as possible, so I'm really here to listen to requests. So that's it for today's video, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!